Today we're here with Melanie, a 37-year-old Montreal elementary school teacher whose life reflects passion, growth, and a dedication to helping others. She's someone who loves trying new things, believes in exploring different paths, and values staying true to who she is. Alongside her teaching career, she's built her own small business from the ground up. Help me in welcoming Melanie to the episode. Melanie, thank you so much for being here today. I'm really happy to have you.
Thank you. No problem. It's a pleasure.
Uh, for listeners who don't know you, how would you describe yourself in a couple of words?
I would describe myself as what you see is what you get.
Tell us a bit about what you do.
So I'm first an elementary school teacher. I've been teaching for 10 years in elementary. I also run my own side business for spray tans called Little Miss Tan Line. So it's my 7th year. Yeah, so that's my two big things.
So you mentioned that you like to try new things and that you don't believe that we're meant to just have one career our whole lives. Where does that mindset come from?
I think it comes from two different directions in my life. So trying new things, I honestly believe stems from my childhood. I grew up in a very overprotective household where I was like not allowed to ride my bike around the block. And so I think that shaped me into who I am today, being someone independent and just trying new things that I was not necessarily allowed to do when I was younger. No bad things, just like really good things. And the second thing is, I feel like we grow as people. We're told at an early age what do you want to do when you grow up, and like we all need to choose a path. So I remember clearly in elementary school, my teacher, I believe in grade 5 or 6, had asked me, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" And I always knew I wanted to be a teacher, but at that point, I said, "I don't know, maybe a teacher or a hairdresser." And I clearly remember her face being a little shocked, like, "Oh, those are two different paths. You need to choose which one you want to go in." And although I understand that the two education paths are different, one is more of a trade, the other one is more educational. I decided to go into teaching, but as I grew, I realized we learn new skills as we grow up, our likes and interests change. And then I think it really stemmed from my side business. Being in the beauty industry is kind of I want to be a hairdresser, but anything to do with beauty.
It's like you bought the best of both. You did end up doing what you wanted to do when you were younger.
Yeah, and then just diving into my business, like doing sales, doing the marketing, doing the digital content, all that made me see like a different side of why are we so conditioned to believe that we need to follow one career? Why can't our careers change based on our likes and interests as we grow as a person?
That's amazing. Yeah, it reminds me when I was a state thing when we were younger, everyone was asking, what do you want to do? And, when you reach high school, that pivotal time in Sec 5, when you're applying to college, figuring out what you want to do, I find that's where like I got my first shock was like, I don't know what I want to do, but I have to pick. It's a hard choice to make. And so it makes sense that if you decide in a couple of years you like something else, why not pursue it?
Yeah. And it's fun to try new careers, right? I mean, it doesn't mean you can never go back to your original career. You have the background, you have the education, you have the experience. So sometimes skills from one career help you grow in another career. So
You've talked about valuing time with friends and family. How has that influenced your life choices?
it honestly has helped me choose balance over burnout. I realized that, especially when I was more in my 20s, still living at home, I used to put so much time in my work being a teacher because my family was around me. So it's okay if I spent all my time doing schoolwork, my family was there. But once you move out and you have your own family, I started realizing that like I don't want to spend my weekends working on work. I want to be able to value time with family and friends. And I think my pivotal moment was in 2020, my 35-year-old cousin passed away. And that's when like life really hit me and said like there's honestly time is precious. You just don't know from one day to the next. So spend those crucial moments with the people you love hanging out with just to create memories.
I love that you put it into practice. So many people say balance over burnout, which I love. And we're always trying to strive to do more and do more and do more. And then you burn out. It was so great on you.
I always tell kids, well, like if you don't listen to your body's gonna make the decision for you. And I've been through burnout. I'm on antidepressants. A lot of people would probably not even realize that Miss Melanie is on antidepressants because, like I said, what you see is what you get. I'm very young at heart. I like just being silly. But if you don't take a break, your body will take it for you.
You've been an elementary school teacher for years. You said you knew when you were younger that you wanted to get into it. But what inspired you, you think, to get into teaching?
I honestly think being the baby of the family, I have an older brother, so he would come home with homework and I was a little bit jealous. Like I once did the homework for him.
Jealous of homework?
Yeah, I don't know. I was the type of kid that when there was a snow day, I would cry. Like I remember one day there was a snow day. It wasn't really a snow day. There was a massive storm outside and we had the option of going to school. My brother was like, I'm not going. And I was crying. I begged my mom to bring me to school. So I just enjoyed, again, learning new things. I feel like learning is a long life journey for me. So I enjoyed doing his homework and I was jealous. I couldn't wait to go to school. And just the fact that I enjoyed being at school is what's guided me to be a teacher. I've been surrounded by kids my whole life, so it felt like a second nature to me.
And what do you enjoy most about working with students?
I enjoy seeing them be themselves. Like it's not even the academics portion of it, although we have to obviously teach that, but I love teaching them just the regular life skills, how to be a good person, how to find things that you like to do. So that's what I enjoy the most, seeing them mature throughout their years. And I've been out of school for like the longest time. So some of my students were my pre-K students, and now I have them in the upper grades. So it's nice to see that transition. I enjoy that.
Amazing. Is there one specific achievement in your career that you're especially proud of?
There is. It has, again, nothing to do with academics. It actually hit me this year. I was organizing my classroom and I was very overwhelmed because every year I'm redoing the classroom or changing classroom. So that takes a lot of energy. And I remember finding something that just lit a light bulb saying, wow, this is what teaching is all about. It was an end of memoir that I found from one of my students back in 2021 when we were just settling back in from COVID and experiencing education in our COVID reality with the masks and all that. And I was feeling very giving. So we decided to do a 5 days of kindness where every day my students and I decided to do something fun for the teachers. So one day we cleaned the snow off of their cars. The next day we baked cookies.
That's amazing.
Brought them coffee. I made my students be waiters where they had to go ask them what they wanted in their coffee. And as I was cleaning this year, overwhelmed, I saw a memoir where one of my students said his most memorable moment of grade 3, I believe, was baking cookies with his friends to give to people. So I was amazed. Yeah, that was very,
You are a very good teacher.
thank you. We try. It's not an easy job, but we try.
No, definitely. Um, Another thing about you, you mentioned you run your own business. Yeah, talk to me about your business.
So my business is basically spray tans. People come in feeling pale and not so great about themselves. So just getting a spray tan is an overwhelming positive feeling. People leave confidence. They feel like a nice glow. I always tell people I can go to bed super exhausted, but if I have a spray tan, I wake up feeling like $1,000,000.
So you built this from the ground up. What was the biggest challenge for you?
The biggest challenge was the very beginning, I think, were the negative thoughts. Like, I remember coming home after my training and I had gotten my certificate. And then I started feeling overwhelmed with all the money I was spending on the equipment and stuff. And I remember saying, oh my God, what if this doesn't work? Like, what if I don't want to do this anymore? And I remember my friend talking to me and saying, it's okay, you just sell it. And I'm like, okay. I'll say that was the biggest challenge. Like, what if it doesn't work?
And would you say that it's working?
It's working.
It's working. That's amazing. Another thing about you that I noticed, you're very active on social media. You're always creating these fun videos. How do you find the energy and how do you get the creativity to create them?
Honestly, it's really like I'm just myself on social media. I remember once I was about to post something and a friend was telling me, you're going to post that? You have like black bags under your eyes. I'm like, I'm here. Like, this is me. But it's really finding the balance between being creative as a business owner and then finding the time to put it aside, being creative with my teaching, where I like to be hands-on with the students. So at the beginning, it was hard to find that balance. I remember being in class and clients were messaging me for appointments, and I was getting so overwhelmed. Like, how am I going to teach and answer these clients at the same times? And so my boyfriend told me, you need to like do a distinct line. When you're teaching, you're teaching. After 3 o'clock, you can focus on your business so that you don't get overwhelmed. Because sometimes I get super overwhelmed just because I'm super excited about whatever I'm doing.
Yeah.
But then that overwhelm turns into burnout because how am I going to manage all these things? So it's really putting aside blocks of time where I can be creative in different directions.
Do you feel like one takes away from the other?
None, a little. I feel like teaching is a lot, but it is my career, so I need to put 110% of my focus in that. Um, but by setting up those blocks of creativity, it allows me to say, okay, from this time to this time, I'm just focusing on teaching, and from this time to this time, I'm just focusing on my business. Sometimes you get ideas while you're teaching about your business, and then sometimes you get ideas while you're running your business about teaching. I need to note it down so that I don't forget, or I get overwhelmed if it's not written down on paper. Like I need to get it out of my brain onto paper.
Same. Notes are my best friend. Yeah, always writing notes. I love how you say you're yourself on social media. Like that stuff is there to stay. And so you posted a video with your bags under your eyes, and you're not afraid to show everyone like this is me. This is the reality of being, a busy entrepreneur. You're vulnerable. How do you get to that point?
I think it takes time. I remember I went to a training and the girl, it was a digital marketing training, and the girl was telling us like once you start posting the way you are, it just becomes natural. And I think ever since that training, I just started posting more and more and it just came second nature. Like there's videos of me on social media singing Backstreet Boys songs, laugh. They're amazing. I love it. And honestly, it has nothing to do with my business, but those videos are the ones that I've exploded on social media. It's just, I think people like seeing you being authentic.
Yeah, and I will say, like, there wasn't a time where I judged. I was like, this girl's amazing. She's so vulnerable. She's herself, and I love it. Um, you also told me a bit about, you mentioned that life had taken a different path for you this year.
Yes.
You're taking care of your dad after a stroke.
Yeah.
How has that experience changed your day-to-day life?
It's been it's been really busy, emotional.
Which, by the way, you're a teacher, business owner, and then add this on to the list.
Yeah. It was very overwhelming and I had to stop. My life had to come to a stop. My dad, if you like, I've explained it on social media, but basically my dad was on vacation in Vegas and he got a stroke when he landed in Vegas. He was on a family trip with my mom and my brother, and I was back home teaching. So I literally had to put a stop to my teaching career and to my business because I was in a different country while my dad is suffering a stroke and I didn't know exactly what was going to happen. Um, so yeah, it's been emotional, but he's doing very well. He went to rehab. He had to learn how to walk again, how to talk, how to swallow, all that stuff. So I've been with my dad every single day since the beginning of October. My dad's always worked all his life, so it's just ironic how I've never got to spend so much time with him as a kid, but I'm spending every single moment with him right now. And some of our best moments were moments in the hospital where we would just laugh and stuff like that. So it's yeah, I'm grateful for the opportunity that teaching has that opportunity to take a little bit of a break to take care of other things. Not everybody is lucky enough to be able to do that, but he's doing well, so I'm looking forward to what's coming.
What has caregiving taught you about yourself?
It's honestly taught me a lot. This taught me that I can be so resilient that I never thought I'd be able to. Like, I hate hospitals. I hate walking into a hospital. I've always been told, "Oh, you're not weak, but like you have a weak stomach, And I've been by my dad's side. I've been patient. You become resilient to a good communicator because you need to communicate with the doctors and nurses. You need to receive all the information they're giving you, and it's honestly taught me that I actually know more than what I thought about the medical system. So you learn for them.
That's amazing. Honestly, and thinking back to, like you said, being in a hospital and not like they're in a vulnerable position.
Yes.
Like they can't do everything for themselves. So you're taking care of that person who was meant to take care of you. And I know it takes a strong person to do that. So
And I never thought I'd be able to be that person until all of this happening. But it's important to also step back and take care of yourself at the same time. I remember being at the rehab center with my dad, and we were there every day. We were present through all his therapies. And one of the therapists told me, like, it's okay not to come here every day. And, and I said, I know, but you just feel like you want to be there. You want to learn about the therapies they're doing so you can incorporate it when he comes back home, right? But he's like, it's okay. He's in good hands. It's okay to take a day for yourself. And like, just hearing that removes all that guilt that you feel like if you're not there, you feel so guilty, right? So, yeah.
What motivates you, especially on days where you're struggling and you're thinking like, what is this all for?
Yeah.
What gets you motivated?
Honestly, the only thing that gets me motivated is thinking about those people that are not in such lucky situations that we are. Like I said, when my cousin passed away, that motivation would keep me up every morning. Like, he's not here. He would want to do that workout. He would want to, I don't know, cook a healthy supper, you know? And then seeing my dad not being able to walk, not being able to talk, gave me that little bit of a power saying, oh my God, there's so many people in the hospital that wish they could just get out of bed and cook themselves a healthy breakfast this morning. So every time I think of that, it just gives me that extra push to, okay, you got to get up and go.
You've obviously accomplished a lot as a teacher, as a business owner, as a caregiver. Which achievement would you say means the most to you?
That's a really hard question. It's hard to choose, but if I had to pick, I honestly would choose my business. Not because the other ones don't are not valuable. It's really hard to choose between the caregiver one and the teacher one as well, just because I've been my whole life in education. But my business owner one is something that belongs to me. I created it from the ground up. I started it at the end of a long-term relationship, and that long-term relationship really made me realize how something that ends can lead to something so exciting and new. I saw a psychologist. She taught me a lot about self-development. So I started that whole self-development journey based on my business. And it's just something that no one can take away from me, regardless of whether a relationship ends or not, or whether you lose your job or not. That's always mine. The only way it's going to end is if I choose to end it.
It's uh it's yours.
It's my baby.
Exactly. It means so much more to you than just a business.
Yes. It wasn't just given to me. I decided this is what I want to do, and I know no one can take it away.
But is there something that you would wish to accomplish in the next few years?
There's a few things. I've always wanted to write a children's book. I love storybooks. That's one of my biggest pleasures of teaching is reading storybooks to my students, regardless if they're pre-K or in grade 6. I just love reading storybooks. So I do want to read. I do want to write a storybook. I already have my illustrator in mind, my little cousin. He's a great artist. So I told him he'll be my illustrator. What will the book be about? I'm not too sure yet, and I haven't decided, but that's on my to-do list. And maybe eventually create my own spray-tan solution. I always wanted to have my little Miss Tan Line brand on a spray-tan solution.
So creative.
Yeah.
Love it. Is it gonna happen? I don't know. But at least you're putting it out there. You have something to look forward to, even though you're so busy every day. You're like you. I think it's important to set yourselves goals, even if sometimes they feel like they're unachievable or they're too insane. I think the bigger the goal, the more you're gonna strive for something. And even if you don't get to that goal, you'll accomplish something else along the way.
And that's right. It's the drive, right? The drive that keeps you going.
Yeah. So Melanie, we're gonna do something that I do with all of the guests. We're gonna do something called rapid fire round. I'm gonna throw you 10 questions. I want you to answer honestly. First thing that comes to mind. Are you ready?
Ready.
Okay. Early mornings or late nights?
Early mornings.
Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Creating lesson plans or creating business ideas?
Seeing business ideas.
Quiet night in or dinner out with friends?
Dinner out with friends.
Trying something new or perfecting something familiar?
Trying something new.
Are you a planner or are you more go with the flow?
Planner.
Here I teach. That is definitely a plan. What's your favorite way to unwind after teaching?
Doing a workout.
Music or book while relaxing?
Music.
Working alone or collaborating with others?
Collaborating with others.
And what inspires you more, a challenge or a clear goal?
The challenge.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, so The final question that I have for you before we go, what is one life lesson that you hope listeners take away from your story today?
That everything in life is temporary, the good, the bad. So to be grateful for all the good stuff, because again, it's temporary, and to learn from the bad stuff or the negative stuff that keeps you going. And if you're just your authentic self, life will guide you in the right way.